all the
I gotta
cameras in
see that.
society.
Truman Show. You seen the Truman? Yeah.
Yes, yes. Like that's that's what I'm saying. We here now.
Yeah.
Like we didn't caught up to it, and so I think I don't know. I think the problem.
Like use it as an assistant, but don't let it. You know what I mean? So back to the authentic point. Like that's what I like. I like authentic. You know. So I get you on the J. Cole stuff because it's like, like we keep giving you like what is it gonna be? That's why I like Pac. Because it's like people be like, oh that. I'm like, hey, that's what it's
Take
real
Pac,
like.
man. Pac, listen, man. And you know the thing that this man died on my birthday, so I feel like there's a weird thing that because of me. I'm running around bald headed with it because of it right now.
You know.
But take Pac. Pac was he epitomized like the poet. All right?
Yeah.
Like when you listen to his music, if we keeping it real, like in the terms of what rap is or whatever, like he did not have phenomenal wordplay. He had no similes.
Yeah.
He had no metaphors.
Yeah.
He had no colorful grammar. All he had was a story that he wanted you to know and a feeling behind it. Those two things is the reason why he has been dead since September 13th, 1996, and that he's still alive right now in 2026. You see what I'm saying? Like there's a thing that comes with like the transmission of the authenticity versus the transmission of the words, the thought itself. Like we appreciate the real nigga more than like the great talker. You know what I mean?
That's it, bro. That's it. So.
But anyway, another episode, Authentic N-Words. It's your brother Ryan Adeuce. We got a great episode today. It's Memorial Day. We here with another great episode of Authentic N-Words. I'm your brother Ryan Adeuce. My brother B is behind the camera, the Frequency Network. We're alive and well. There's great things happening in the world. We're sitting here with a great brother from the community, my man Mo. Maybe you recognize his face from somewhere in the world. He does a lot of great things. We'll get down the path with a few of those things for sure. My hope is that this is a continuing conversation, so we don't necessarily have to get it today. I like to keep up with what you got going on in the world and just extend the conversation as far as we can, for as long as we can in this lifetime.
Right on.
So I appreciate you being here, Mo. If somebody did know you in the world, how would they know you?
That's a great question. Well, before I even start, I just want to say shout out to y'all. Shout out to the network, shout out to the production, shout out to B, shout out to Deuce,
For sure.
For letting me be here and share time and space with y'all. I love the production, I love the content and the real talk, you know what I mean? So
Thank you, man.
It's truly an honor being here. I want to start off by saying that, like, truly grateful being here, and I love what y'all do. For real, bringing the real. We talk about authentic, off camera we was talking about that, so it's an honor to be here. But what was your question again?
Well, Dan, you just messed me all up. My question is I appreciate you. If somebody in the world, outside, whether this building or outside just in the city or outside in just random parts of the world, how would they know you? Now, of course, I feel like I know a few of the answers, but how would you say they know you?
Oh man, there's so many different. I feel like I live like a bunch of different lives, So obviously, it's a bunch of different roles that we carry out here. So be son, father, brother, athlete, artist, creator, director. So many different things, but I'm just Mo. I like to learn, I like to create, I like to help people, and I'm just forever a student in life. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's important. Recognizing that we're just students in life.
That's it.
Even though we have things that we could pass on, we never stop being a student. Creatively, I know you do a lot of things.
Yep.
I pay attention to a lot of your content. I noticed that, you just started. I don't know. It seemed, as a person, we have many conversations, away from moments like this.
Right.
And so, like, I know you have a very unique perspective on the world. And then one day I just noticed, like, just turned up, and you just started letting the transmission fly.
Yeah.
Where did that come from? Like, what was it? Knowing that you live a very, you live a very unique path. What made you want to start letting the world know, what was on your mind?
I like to be behind the camera, and that was the biggest thing. But I was talking to somebody, and he was just like, he's like, you got to step in front of the camera sometimes, because I'll say, our conversations be powerful, like even when we talk, and I learn from a lot of people. But he just was like, you got to get in front of the camera more, and I was like, nah. But also, like, when I do these things, it's like a note to self. Like, I'm talking to me. These are messages that I need to hear. And one of my biggest things, how I operate in life, is the code of, like, just one. If I can help just one person, I'm good. A lot of times, in life, people get caught up in metrics and all that good stuff. But I'm like, as long as you help just one person, you're fine. That's what I did with the books and everything else. If one person gets something from it, you change the world. We so focused on, like, likes and all these other things, but you just only got to help one person, and your impact will grow. So that's kind of like where that came from.
Which, to hear you say that, and then to know, one of your books, Breaking Out the Cage, I read it, make sure you read that book for those of you out in the world who are looking for inspiration, motivation from somebody who's actually gone through some things,
sure.
Real life experience.
For sure.
Would you say that was like your own breaking out the cage moment?
Oh man, for sure that was one of them, because just even the process to write the book, you had people telling you like no, and people I got a bunch of no's. I tried to go even around this area to like some bookshops at the time, and they was hating, and I just like, all right, I'm gonna do it myself. And I wrote the book, and my aunt helped. You met my auntie, shout out Dr. Conley. She she helped out and proofread it, and was able to get it published, and that was the thing. But writing that book was just like, I was going around and doing speeches, like we was going to the youth juvenile facilities and talking, and it was bigger than me. It was just a message that I had to give to the world. It wasn't even about me. It was about the message, breaking out the cage. We all have cages. What's your cage? I know my cage was my attitude. You know what I mean? I lost so many opportunities because I was a hothead. You know what I mean? And like through that, I was like, let me write this down and give that game and this message to other people so they can avoid those pitfalls. So that's kind of how it came, just like being a vessel, bro, and really bringing the idea to life and helping people. It wasn't about me, it was about the message and just doing my part.
Indeed. That's heavy, man, especially knowing the communities that we reside in. Right now, we somewhere in the city on the west side, but we do work all across the town. For those who don't know, me and Mode, we do a number of things in the community, just to do our part, just to make sure that we help one, and, and any other person, we can after that. How do you, matter of fact, let me start here. How do you feel about, just some of the energy that's taking place in the streets amongst our youth right now? Knowing that we've recently just had, we've had many moments, but just knowing some of the more recent moments.
It's sad, definitely. Your hearts go out to those families and the individuals and the kids. It's always sad. I would definitely say, the individuals that I get a chance to work with or collaborate with, such as, yourself or other people we work with, I think that I got to give y'all's flowers, because a lot of people want to be praised in this work, which hurts the kids, because if there's no praise, people aren't doing the work. You know what I mean? It's like something happens to a kid and then everybody runs in and like, oh, let me help. But people like you and other people in the community who do the work, who don't seek the spotlight, you know, it's like oh, who's out here, who's helping? But it's people who are helping. So I want to give y'all, you know, y'all's flowers. But it's sad, and I would say my part and my thought process and all of it is, I'm a person of ideas. So I believe ideas can change the world. So I'm not out here rah, 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 marching, let's go march, let's go do this, do that. I simply, going back to the just one, I try to find just one youth and help them through changing their ideas. You know what I mean? The streets, all that stuff, that was an idea. You can't kill an idea. So we're never gonna stop any of the violence in the streets through, you know what I mean? Because you can't kill an idea. It's always gonna be here. Look at how the country is ran. It's ran off of ideas of, you know, older Caucasian men who run the world. Them ideas still. But how you do it is you change an idea with a new idea. So you showing them different ways, you know what I mean? Like you do with the music and the guidance, you know what I mean? I might show them an idea through obviously the cameras or athletics, but you just introduce them to a new idea, and that's kind of like how you can help. Everybody has some type of thing, you know, be with the art, with the production, we all have something to offer. So just kind of changing the idea is how I feel we can help the youth. But it's definitely sad, and my heart goes out to all the families for sure.
Yeah, shout out to just all the families that have recently suffered something in the community. It's a lot of stories. If you're here, then you know. If you're not here, you know. I'm sure it's the same in your community.
Yeah.
You know, there's always a sad story. I ask it because it's you know, about that cross section of you know, you go into facilities, you know, you go speak to the youth, you know, who may be going through some things, you know, you're fighting a case, whatever. Then you know, we're in different events in the city, you know, in which we, you know, we'll run across youth for various reasons, you know. Of course, you know, where we work at, you know, just in regards to the medical space. And so just the cross section of all of those things together, you know, of course, you know, you'll have a bunch of people be like, oh, it's the music.
Yeah.
You know, oh no, it's the substances they have access to, or whatever. You know, at the end of the day, you know, like I know, many of them are just misguided.
Yeah.
Or would you say, I feel like many of them are just misguided. What do you think it is?
I would agree, misguidance, but also back to the ideas. They operate off the ideas of this is how life is and this is what I should do. I would blame some of the music. You know, that's why I said the real artists need to get back and, you know, put out some music.
Some music with some substance.
Some music with some substance. Yeah, I would blame the music, bro, because you got to listen to the music. It's like poison, you know, and I operate off a different frequency. I know people say, oh, frequencies, but for real, the music, what you listen to, bro, it, you know what I mean? It plays a part. So I would say the music, I would say the things they see in the culture, you know what I mean? Like, negativity spreads fast. So if they seeing all these negative images and everything, then that's the idea they're gonna gravitate to, and that's what's gonna become their reality, you know? There's a song that's out right now, I ain't gonna even talk about it, cause shout out to her. But it's you just throw on a beat and a catchy, we out here, you know what I mean? It's like, scamming, where y'all, you know what I mean? Spin that. It's like, and I'm like, I don't want nobody to scam, bro. You know what I mean? But we celebrate, we glorifying that. But let me make a song called I'm finna kill a squirrel, or I'm finna kill a dog, you know what I mean?
Peter gonna be down,
bro, they gonna be on our helmet, bro, like, you know what I mean? So I think that plays a part, but it's like, I mean, that's why I always talk about ideas. You gotta change the ideas to change the landscape, and put it in like somebody like you know what I mean, who's very talented, a talented artist, you know what I mean, and you can rap about anything and make music about anything, and it's gonna be real. So, I mean, I would say gravitating to those like real artists and things of that nature could help. You know,
I can see that.
because people do that. Like, of course, tell your story, but like, music is powerful, bro. Like, I promise you, it's powerful. That's why I don't really listen to a lot of music. I don't know about other people, but I listen to instrumentals or stuff. I gotta be careful what I take in, cause I used to listen to Hit 'Em Up, bro, and it would like activate. Have you ever seen the movie? What's it called? I think it's Avengers. I think it's the Avengers Civil War. But if you watch that, there's a character on there. His name is Bucky, and he be super cool. But then they play something, and he like gets hijacked, and he starts going crazy. He's the Winter Soldier, bro. They play like a song or something, bro, and he just goes crazy, bro. I'm telling you, bro. And that's with a lot of us. Like, you play Hit 'Em Up or something, we go, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it hits
It's like
something.
that Boondocks episode where they was like, all you gotta do is throw a chair in the crowd.
That's it, bro.
Yeah.
If I'm in a club,
So,
if I'm in a club, we play. Like, I used to hear stories, bro. They used to talk, like, my older sisters and stuff would talk like, they'd be like, yeah, they play Knuck If You Buck in the club. And the club got, you know what I mean?
get shut down.
Because it's the energies, you know what I mean? And that's all across all, you know, all music.
It's true. Same thing with 3 6 Mafia. Tear the club up.
You know what I mean? So that's in every aspect. So, you know, you got to be careful to what you listen to, because at the same time, DMX saved my life. Slipping. That song saved my life. It's powerful. It speaks to you. You know?
Transmission.
Transmission, bro. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's very real. And in mind, you just because we went down that path, so just because we're here for just a brief second. So going back to AI and going back to the transmission, right? So there's a song currently in the city that's very, very popular. That's an AI song, right? And not only is the song, you know, just gaining more steam, but people are excited about that,
Yeah.
right? And when I think about the transmission and I think about the authenticity, and I know this is a weird cross section, but you'll understand. A couple weeks ago, I was in a conference. I thought you were going to be there. In that conference, I used an example because we were going around about how AI plays a part in like the spaces that we work in, right? And so, room full of room full of degrees, room full of people got doctors on their names, all kinds of stuff.
Yep.
My offering was, well, if AI, right, has the ability to transmit all of this information and we can use it in the way in which we like it, and yet we know that the authenticity of whatever like the human-like thing is completely missing. I said, how do you accept, say, like, I want to know about skydiving, right? And so then I asked AI about it. Now the thing is AI can provide you with an answer and a bunch of images to go with it, and tell you what it's like, and yet it's never done it. So how do we accept an AI song talking about love and relationships and feelings, and yet you've never had one? It's the emptiness that's missing from the music. And so what does that do? Like the same way in which you could hear, like, you could hear Tupac honestly angry, hence the reason you hear it. It's like, yo, I'm gonna fuck something up.
Yeah.
But like imagine Tupac wasn't real. Like, what if Tupac was just AI? Do we get that same feeling if it raps that way? Do we hear it? Does it resonate in the same voice, same words?
Man, it's interesting you say that, because, like I say, being a student of life, there's so many people I owe apologies to, because I was in Cali one time, and it was my guy. Shout out Plunk Shot, man. It was my guy, and like, he would always, I don't want to say he was tripping, but at the time, I didn't know, because I wasn't at that level of understanding, but he had his camera, and he would always tell people, like, I shoot manually. And we all looking like we don't care. Like, he's like, I shoot manually. Because you got all these youngins out there, and we all got our cameras, but people are shooting in autofocus. So the camera's doing all the work. And he would always say, I shoot manual. And like, I'm just thinking he's tripping, or like he, you know, but he was like, he would always say that. And then as I grew in my directing and my film skills, bro, like, I started to understand what he meant. He would always talk about like the eye, like there's nothing greater than the human eye, like nothing's more powerful than the human eye. And he would just kind of like give me this game, and then like as technology grew, I would understand what he would say. You know what I mean? And a lot of people thought he was tripping, because you have people who, you know, will come and just try to let technology do the work, and all his work was like passion behind it and everything. So how that translated is like to everything you said, like you have AI and all these things, but it's the feeling, you know what I mean?
Like, so does, well, not finish the thought.
Like the picture you showed me, that our friend Bree, you know, crafted up and painted everything. That's a powerful picture. You know what I mean? There's passion behind that. It's passion in the music. I don't want us to ever lose that, you know, because you have people where I didn't experience this, but I guess it was like Milli Vanilli or something like that.
Oh, the lip syncing.
Yeah, and just stuff like that where it's like you're just gonna be heartbroken. Like you see it in all the movies where you thought somebody was one way, and it'd be like at the end, like, oh damn, like you a cop, Jay Reed, like dang, you was, you know, you a cop, Jay Reed.
You ain't no cop, Jay Reed.
Just in all the movies, you know what I mean? Like, or it just be that, just be heartbroken, you know, like the real. It's always gonna be the real, so I would just encourage people like just to keep creating, and you know, the song that was created, okay, fine, it's out, but like, let's all just still creating, you know what I mean? That's why I respect people who can play instruments and stuff like that, bro, like, you know what I mean? Shout out to Mr. Avery, you know, who I introduced you to, who can play the instruments, or you who can write and create, like, let's not lose that. Let's not lose that to AI. You feel me? Like,
you feel like technology's killing the creativity?
No, it's not technology. It's the people. Technology is what it's. You know what I mean? It's like everything else is here to help and assist. But when we use it, you know what I mean? Because even that, it's like, okay, cool, but it's like people use it to. People don't want to be successful, bro. They want to be significant. So we out here like we trying to compete with other people, bro. We looking down. That's why when I said, when you asked me to be on this, I said thank you. Because I appreciate what y'all do. I appreciate your perspective. I appreciate who you are, both of y'all. But you got people who want to look down on other people, you know what I mean? And that's why it's such a problem. So AI is going to become a problem because you're not really passionate about this. You just want the fame, or you just want, you know what I mean? You don't really live this. You just want the fame. Maybe I'm tripping, but that's just how I feel about it. Like,
no, the thing is, I agree with you. I mean, you know, me and you, we've gone down this path about the importance of like impact, and and being praised for that impact. You know what I'm saying? And yet, you know, you'll have bro, nobody knows, like, nobody knew, like, a black man developed the interface for, like, the internet, right? Like, the being able to do that thing back and forth, because, you know, he didn't run around the world and tell nobody. Yeah. Even though we use it every single day. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It, you know, to me, you know, that just speaks to the fact that he understood that the impact was more important than saying, hey, y'all, I did it.
Yeah, it's about the impact. Just like all of, back to the ideas. I talk about ideas. You got the person who created the Super Soaker. It was black, you know what I mean? It's all these things, all these creations where it's like, you have people that create, you know what I mean? But I think a lot of that got lost because it's more of the like, look at me versus what I'm bringing. That's why when you ask me about the book, that's, okay, I'm the author of the book, but it's not about me. We're all bringing our ideas together, our creations together to help the next person. It's like a tree, you know what I mean? If you look at the trees, it's like a quote where it's like the tree doesn't get to enjoy the fruit, you know what I mean? Somebody else comes along and enjoys the fruit. It's just the fruit on the tree. And it's like all of us, you know what I mean? We have to help each other. And that's just kind of how, like, I operate, so.
Yeah, I appreciate you for it.
Yeah.
I only ask just because it seems like with every jump in technology, like we lose, even though we gain, we gain an advancement. Like it seems like we lose a piece of who we are, like our humanity somewhere in the process. You know what I'm saying? Like even going back to when you was like, shout out to the brother. I shoot a manual. Now mind you, I've heard B say very similar things about what he does behind the camera, right? But it's the, like, for the person who hears it, it's like, so the fuck what? As long as the camera is taking the flick, it's taking the flick. But I recognize like the difference in, well, the manual means that you have to find it. Like you have to find the shot, as you're getting, before you click it, like finding getting close enough or turning that dial versus, it gave you what you needed. Just the same as, I remember arguing with dudes about like, you got a rhyming dictionary in there? Oh, nigga. What? I read books. You know what I'm saying? Like, because in my mind, you read a book, that'll make you better. Why you need to read a rhyming dictionary if you just took the time to participate in language more? You would just see it for yourself. So I understand where you're coming from. Just trying to maintain that humanity. But going back to impact, because it makes me think about like how that translates in a different area of the world. So how would I put it? Do you think the community leader and the activist are the same person? And if not, what's the difference? And if they are, how so? And I ask it because I think about the community leader, you, others, outside doing what you just need to do to reach one person. Versus the activists may do the same, but they're somewhere and everybody knows it.
That's a good question. So the difference between the community leader and the activist.
In mind, if you don't think there's a difference, I understand, But it just makes me wonder.
It's just tough because I really don't even care about those titles, to be honest. Like, I respect them, but like, I think even that, like, you lose just even the nuance. I don't know, because like, everybody wants to be a community leader for that title. It's like, you can be a community leader, like, who cares? You know what I mean? And the activists, like, anybody can be a community leader. You know what I mean? You don't need social media or anybody to tell you that. You just lead. Like you said, each one teach one according to
one's knowledge.
You know what I mean? So like everybody can do that. We all are actually supposed to do that and help the community. As far as the activists, like, I think the real activists, you gotta give it up to them, because like, that's not easy, and they're ruffling feathers, and they really putting their life on the line to help. You know what I mean? They're disrupting. Like, they're gonna do a lot of things that a lot of people are gonna do, and you have to respect that. You know what I mean? So people get it mixed up, like, I'm an activist. Like, no, you're not. You're comfortable. You know what I mean? Something's happened, you're gonna go right back. There's activists out here that's still out here fighting for things that people have forgot about. People forget in 2 weeks, bro. Something happens, people will forget in 2 weeks. So we talk about all the violence and things, people forget, they go on. But you got activists that are in the world that are still fighting for things people forgot about or might not have been popular. Because we only go off of popularity of situation. You know what I mean? So that's the difference between the community leader and the activist. Anybody can be a community leader, just go lead. We're all community leaders technically. But the activists, you know what I mean? They still pushing for things we've forgotten about or things people don't care about anymore. The real activists, you know what I mean?
Shit people don't even know about.
Things people don't even know about. Like, we talk about, like, just some of the greatest in history. Like, look at what happened to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And everybody wants to be that, but do you?
Yeah, it's a tough life.
You know what I mean? Do you?
It's a tough life.
Like, and then that is like, you kind of like what we talked about earlier. You got this group of individuals, you gotta, I don't want to say battle, but you kind of at odds with, and then your own people, like, you can do something and they, well, what now, you know? So that's my take.
Yeah, conflict is always going to exist.
Conflict, yep.
Side, you hear people say things, you know, about different roles people play in the community. So just, you know, I wonder, you know, the perception people have, but just when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Random question. How many weddings you been to in the last year?
That's a good question. One? One, yep.
How many funerals you been to?
Oh, it's a lot. Yeah.
I know, just as a cross section, you think the fact that you've been to one wedding in a year versus countless funerals, you think that speaks to what's happening outside? And mind you, I say it because, you know, a little while ago in a conversation, you said something that another brother we had a conversation with on the platform said, young brother from Haiti, he said the same thing, you know, the hate spreads faster than the love, the negativity spreads faster than the joy.
But one thing you should know though, hate travels faster than love. Hate is, everybody just love to hate, so hate travels so fast. The truth and the lies, the truth don't travel fast. Everybody, they will see the lie because the lie is such a made up story, such a good made up story. And if somebody trying to hate, the people love to see negativity.
You know, so it makes me wonder, like,
Yeah.
is that an accurate depiction of it?
Yeah, I think he hit it right on the head. And also just got to get out of that low vibration, low frequency state of like self-hate. You know what I mean? And not being afraid to break out the cage, whether it be your environment, you know, whatever. One of the things I talk about the book is breaking out of the cage, but with that, all the book pretty much is about is becoming capable of more than your environment is suggesting. You know what I mean? And shout out to those who do that. Because when you're around a bunch of people and you think this is the way to go, you know, who's gonna break that who's gonna, I don't wanna say stigma, but who's gonna break out of that? You know what I mean? And seek that, I learned that self-love, you know? Because that's kind of like how I view just the example you gave. And I'm not saying weddings are end all be all, you know what I mean? But really just, it's sad, but we just got to do better as a people. And yeah.
Yeah, no, I just, you know, when I just think about the hate, when I think about the negativity, I think about the love, I think about the joy.
Yeah.
Like, I thought about it myself recently, like, you know, how many weddings have I been to? How many funerals have I been to? And, you know, does that speak, is that like a sign of the times? You know, will I ever have the moment, or any of us, you know, where it's the opposite? Like, I went to 20 weddings and I only went to one funeral.
I mean, yeah. I think the wedding thing is also, it's rare because people are kind of stepping away from weddings, especially traditionally. But just for the dichotomy and like the paradox, I will say that I have been to a lot of graduations. You know,
been to quite a few. So,
you know, just to kind of throw that, because though it is a lot of hate in the world, you know, we do want to highlight the good, the love, and the good. And it's been a lot of graduations, a lot of students who are taking that next step.
Shout out to everybody who recently graduated. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And, you know, this is something that we see a lot too, but it's a lot of people who, they don't get that love because we only focused on the bad. the bad kids or whatever. You know, the bad kids get all the love. That's where all the resources go. But shout out to the ones who, you know what I mean?
Who do right.
Who do right, because that's tough, because you see this is the person who gets all the love and the fast money, you know what I mean? But shout out to y'all. Y'all staying the course. There's nothing wrong with y'all at all.
Nothing.
It's the world, you know?
It's all backwards.
It's the world is backwards. Keep going. Keep creating. You know what I mean? Back to what I was talking about with the book and anger. Like, that's weak. Being angry, spazzing out is weak. But you got to be strong to, you know, let something slide. You know what I mean? Just things we see. Like, I used to think it was tight to pop off and be a hothead. Like, oh. But you lose so many opportunities, man. So, you know, not everybody's gonna be that dragon slayer or whatever, but shout out to y'all anyway, man. So,
Well, actually, I was getting ready to make a segue, but before I do it, just because you said it, and I think it's important because we actually had this conversation at a youth group recently.
Yep.
Why do you think it's so much harder to walk away from a conflict knowing that it could keep you out of harm's way versus participating in the conflict knowing that it's going to come with the dumb shit? Why do you think it's so much harder to walk away from the thing?
ego. I think it's ego. I think it goes back to how you want people to look at you. But yeah, ego. And one of the things I had to learn is like, it's okay to walk away. It's okay to walk away, but again, everything we talked about today ties into that. Propaganda is a big thing. Like I'll be somewhere, and I'll be like, Nipsey probably never had to deal with this. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
I'll be like, you be thinking that because it's propaganda, because we think like celebrities and stuff never have to deal with, but they do. You know what I mean? Like, man, Jay-Z never, somebody talked to him like that. But and we all humans, and it's okay to take losses. It's okay to walk away. But we weren't taught these things. I just kind of just boil it down to emotional intelligence. And that's something that we lack, something that I think needs to be, you know, taught more. Because it's a lose-lose, you know what I mean? It's a lose-lose.
Just the level of the loss.
Yeah. Every now and then, and this is the dichotomy with me, because every now and then I do want to hear some militant stuff, like, we ain't finna just be like, oh yeah, let's just pray and let, nah. Some stuff do need to be checked, but in the longer run and for the most part, it's like, people try to bring you down, you know what I mean? It's just like situations like that where somebody will try to pull you down to their level and you can't fall for the bait. You know, you got people out here that'll talk, especially with this internet and things like that, you know, and it's like, you just gotta let them have it, because they'll pull you down. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, and even for me, from like sports and all that, it's like, why am I arguing with you? Like, you was never on my level. Why am I arguing with you? But we do it because we feel we got to check somebody. Even then, if you do check them, you're going to lose anyway. You're going to lose everything. So, yeah, man, emotional intelligence, discretion, and a lot of time it don't even be no real threat. It just be our ego and our pride.
Yeah.
You know? But you got people like that troll LeBron James. So when I see stuff like that, I'm like, you don't think they're going to talk about you? Whatever religion you believe, they hate it. You know what I mean?
With that, I always go back to Lil Durk. Like, I always go back to Lil Durk. Because, you know, he fighting the case right now, as everybody knows.
Yeah.
The thing is the joke that was made after he caught the case all over Twitter, all over the internet, about the fact that the internet know they trolled him about Von's death.
Yeah.
But as soon as he catch the case, behind the things that unfolded behind it, now it's, look how stupid you are for falling for that, dummy. You really slid on your ops, you famous. And it's like, But y'all told him to do it. In mind, I'm not saying he did it because keep fighting the case. I don't know, but it's the fact that if this world that's paying attention to this is saying do it, and then as soon as you do it, it's look y'all, he fell for it.
Yeah, that's the world. That's what the world. That's humans. That's what humans are gonna do. The same people that they're gonna be at your ceremony, your award ceremony. They're gonna be the same people that's gonna be at your beheading. You know what I mean?
Fair.
They're gonna just people. Like I said, and everything has kind of been laid out for us. We just a lot of us thought we were bigger than the program, so we didn't want to listen. But like these lessons go back to childhood. You know what I mean? Where we see people turn on other people. Like it's been in the books. It's been in one of my. I was watching a movie with my daughter. It was a movie that I was probably like a toddler when it came out, but it was Toy Story, bro. And Toy Story, like movies like that, them Disney movies, they got the messages in them. So Toy Story, bro, like it's about this, it's a toy named Woody. He's a cowboy. And the dude and Woody running everything, right? Everybody's like, he can't do no wrong. But the dude get a new toy, Buzz Lightyear. And he start playing with this toy. And this dude, Woody, like, he was so jealous of him. Like, he grabbed the remote control car and tried to knock him off the shelf and, like, knocked him out the window, bro. And that's kind of where the whole movie comes, like, just that jealousy, bro. Like, this guy who was the hero and everybody loved, like, this is what he was doing behind. He was so jealous of this new toy that he knocked him out the window. You know what I mean? And this was back then. You have just things in front of us like that that'll just show us how people are. Like I said, we was talking about Juice the other day. The movie Juice, and I'm like, bro, like, it always puzzled me because I'm like, why didn't they just let him do his DJ thing? Like, y'all go, and he stay here, or leave him in Still, and then you two go.
Why was it so important?
Yeah,
He had to go with
like,
y'all.
why did he have
a moment?
You know what I mean?
That he's supposed to, indeed.
So it's things like that where it's like we crew, we boys, but like, you know what I mean?
That's real. That's a great question too, man.
Because that's what I even where I'm from, like, I had people just being a hothead growing up. Like I used to like to fight and all that, but like you had people that would be like, no, focus on this. You don't do that. You do this. And those are the rare individuals who they not gonna get the praise or whatever, but people like that matter. Because you got people who will love to see you fail. Because it makes people like seeing other people fail because it makes them feel good about themselves, bro. They don't want to see you win. What do you mean? It's like a right. Why are you running so fast? Now we gotta run faster. Not knowing you can run at your own pace.
But you trying to keep up.
But people are trying to keep up. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? You know what I mean? You know, and that's how it is. It gets deep, bro. But it's like, that's just human nature. They wanna see you fail, so they gonna trick you out of your position. Hence, what we was talking about earlier. Like, it could be somebody like, they know that you're better than them, but they gonna get you off the board. They gonna trick you out to be, come on, come hit me, come assault me, so I can throw you. You know what I mean? You might be a better artist than me, but I'm gonna come on, so we can get you out of here. You know what I mean? And then, why did you do that? We see it all the time. We see it all the time. Run our test, bro.
Not Meta World Peace.
But run our test, bro. Like that whole, just even thinking about that, like you see where stuff gets real and then everybody's like, oh my God. But it's like, this is what y'all wanted, you know? But you also got to control it because pulling everything back in, Pacers could have won it all that year. Think about it, bro. People don't talk about that. The Pacers could have won it all that year. Pacers could have won it all that year, bro. Threw it out the window, right? But people like, you got somebody, let's say Ron Artest didn't respond like that. He gets hit with a cup, he shakes it off, you know what I mean? Get back in the game.
Of course, the NBA history changes.
History changes, but you know what you're gonna get? oh, if that was me, I would have did this. Oh, I would have did that. And it's like,
yeah, damn if you do, damn if you don't.
so always do what's best for you. Don't let people trick, because I wouldn't let nobody do that to me. You know what I mean?
Until it happens to you.
There was a situation, I was playing football, so football is the only place where I turn up. Like, I'd be real stoic outside of life, but when I'm in between the lines, I'll turn up. Like, and we was playing this tournament, and I was with this team from Chicago, and it got chippy. So I was ready to go or whatever, and I was about to scrap, and one of the wives of the people I was about to scrap, she came up, bro, she slapped me. She slapped me, bro. I was like, all right. I just walked away, because it's, you know what I mean, I don't hit women out. But you got all these dudes who didn't want to fight me. Like, nothing but space and opportunity come up. Oh, if that was me, I would have. Calling her all sorts of names. I said, but you didn't even want to get down with me. Now you telling me I should have hit her? And I'm cool with, you know what I mean? It was one of the homies' wife. She just ran into, you know what I mean? I would never, but it wasn't that, you know. But you got all these people who, like, hey, like, we can, let's get, you know what I mean? I would have did this. They want to see you. They want to see you fail, bro. People. I'll have one person, shout out Samp. Samp, OG. Shout out Samp.
Shout out to Sam.
Samp. Yep.
Samp.
Yep, S-A-M-P. Shout out Samp. He came up, he said, thank you. He said, thank you, bro. He from Philly. OG, Samp. He said, thank you, bro. Because the whole tournament would have been over. And you got to carry out more things, just more, and it's like me and who I am, like, you know, a lot of things get damaged. So, like, we could take a punch. That's why I said you could take a loss. I'm going to take that. She slapped me, bro. I'm going to take that loss. Like,
for sure.
You know what I mean? You don't need to win all the time. Sometimes you need to take those losses. You come back stronger. And just whatever you want to do. But when you want to win something, you start cheating. You start doing devious shit. Like, you know what I mean? It's like.
So as a person who came up, so let's go down to sports. So as a person who came up in sports, just because of what you said, do you subscribe to the idea that if you're not cheating, you're not trying?
No. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. No. Especially in sports, like, you got some things where, like, people do stuff to be funny, but I wouldn't even call that cheat. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't even like that. You're not cheating, you're not trying. Like, what? You're cheating.
That's what I said. But you know, it's a thing. You know, in sports, it's like you gotta do everything to win. You gotta do everything to win.
Yeah, no,
so
you gotta take your losses. Like, now some people will, like, cut corners. Like, if you sprinting, you got to make a certain time. Somebody might not touch the line or whatever. But what you don't realize is those small habits compound. So that's why you don't even want to, because you don't touch the line, or, like, in football, especially if you on offense, like, every play tells a story. It's like Shakespeare. You know what I mean? Your playbook's your script. You know, your costume, your wardrobe is your uniform. The field or wherever you at, that's your arena, that's your stage. You got to go perform. You can't cheat it. And so what do I mean by that? If you practicing and you ain't touching the line and you cutting corners, those small things compound. So you're gonna be like in a game, oh, I shouldn't have to do this, or I can run my route at 7 instead of 10 yards. But every football play, it's about route depth discipline. So if you don't run your route, somebody else can't run their route because you in the way. And you can get seriously hurt by doing that. People don't know that. Every play, it's all about route depth discipline. You feel me? So, like, if you turn this way instead of turning that way, you know what I mean? Like, you can get somebody hurt. Like, it gets deep. So that's why I said in the summertime or wherever you're working, man, make sure you touch the line. Make sure you finishing through the line. You practicing good habits, because that'll carry you into the season. But if you undisciplined during the off season, you're gonna be undisciplined during the season. So I don't do if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. You know, don't cut no corners. And you see that with the real, with the champions and everything.
That's a jewel.
Like, you're going to take your losses. Look at all the people who've took their losses. Everything is so fast-paced in society that we don't even take the time to give people they flowers. Like, look at like Jalen Hurts, bro, and what he went through. He got replaced during the national championship in college and transferred and all that thing. And, bro, he kept working. He took the loss. He kept working. No excuses. Became a Super Bowl champ. You know what I mean?
Tough city, too.
Yeah.
In a very tough city.
In a very tough city. You know what I mean? So it's okay to take a loss. It's okay to take a loss. You know? You in a scrap. You take a loss, okay, you shake it off, you come back stronger. But you got people who can't take a loss, and then they're either gonna lie, tell stories, oh, I did this and that, and that's not gonna help your development, or you're gonna do something dirty. So
That's a jewel.
Yeah,
That's
man.
a super jewel. No reason to cut corners. I see you a lot in different moments. I see you in different parts of the country. I see you at a lot of different athletic events.
yeah.
I know your connection to just the sport world itself. But what is it that what is it that's taking you to all these places to document it all the time? Like, what's the thing that you're showing us, or you want us to bear witness to, or that you just enjoy about it, separate from the fact that, you know, you played it for a long time, but it's like, you know, you're taking us through the journeys of players, you're introducing us to like coaches and different staff people in these different moments, like you're taking us somewhere and you're showing us things. Like, what is that? What are you giving us?
I mean, a lot of it, I'll say this, because that's a great question. The first thing is that I just use sports as it's just a vehicle to help people. So telling stories through sports, like that's my contribution. You know what I mean? You know, we'll be in spaces with some real ones.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? And their contribution is their stories. Like I said, most I did was just probably be a hot hitter fight. I can hold my own or whatever, but you know what I mean? That's not my background. How I show up is from the sports angle of it, because I play sports, but I also, in my studies, I did my own studies, my own data. And I'm like, all the real OGs that I knew, killers, whatever, they started out in sports.
This is a fact. Most of them, for sure.
So that was, you know what I mean? That was my angle. Like all the best gangsters play sports. You know what I mean? Things didn't work out, and then they kind of, faded off. But you can't tell me, it's probably 95% OGs played sports and was good. You know what I mean? And then veered off. So it was just my contribution to like helping society, like through athletic enrichment and kind of helping out through that. Because you see people, like they say in the Bronx Tale, wasted talent. You know what I mean? It'd be like, man, what happened? You had all these offers and you chose to do it. They didn't have no guidance. So I do all this stuff that you see, but the root of it is really just that enrichment. Because I've seen, even people I play with, we've seen so many of our young men who had this opportunity throw it away. It's like, man, you was a star player and you did this, and that, right? You know what I mean? One of the guys I look up to is John Thompson. Georgetown, right? Saved Allen Iverson's life, bro. You know, Allen Iverson was finna go to jail for a long time. That bowling alley incident, you know what I mean? John Thompson came in, helped him, and so many people. Some of the names we spoke about, that's in the book. And just things like that. So I always like John Thompson's motto. He's like, I'm here to just build better men. And that's what he did, you know what I mean? And his impact is there in Georgetown. So that's kind of like that's the root of it. Because you see so many people, and you'll see a story, it's like such and such did this. It's like, damn, why did you do that? And we not shaming them, we shaming the behavior, but like, such and such had all this and still beat his wife in front of everybody. It's like, man, but you get it, like, nobody has ever given them, especially when you're an athlete, and I think this kind of sets the trajectory for everything else, but nobody has ever really gave you that guidance because you were so good at sports. Nobody ever checked you on all the other stuff because they let it slide because you can run a 4.3. You know what I mean? Which is why all this other stuff, you know what I mean? Yeah, we ain't tripping off school. Just
Make sure you do this part
yeah,
right.
we'll
Cut
pass
those
you.
corners.
Right, just cutting those corners. You know, in the wire, if it wasn't for social promotion, you know.
Yo, that's one of the funniest moments.
It wasn't for social promotion. So then that's the root of it. And then everything else, honestly, everything else just came from treating the janitor like the CEO, man. I respect everybody. So it really all happened because like during my time when I played, those interns, the towel boy, the water boy, water girl, the people who clink trash up in the stadium, I was always nice to them. I was always cool with them. I was always respectful. I would always give them extra tickets, whatever. I was cool. Not knowing nobody stays in the same place. So those same people right now are running programs, you know what I mean, at high level jobs. But when I was playing, they were just interns, you know what I mean? They were just interns. But now they've leveled up. So that's a part of why I get to go to these places, just because of those relationships. You never know where somebody's going to be. That's why you always treat people right. And I wasn't doing it knowing that they would do it. It just happened. I just stayed in touch with them. And like, oh man, you're the director of what at Weir? You know what I mean? And like, they worked their way up. Some of my former teammates is coaches now. You know what I mean? Like, I got teammates that coach in the NFL now, young, doing it. You know what I mean? But they put in that work. So it was always like just a respect thing. You know, you never know. That's why you treat everybody with respect. And the janitor is gonna work their way up. You know what I mean? So that's kind of like how that all came about, bro.
Mode, I appreciate you, man.
For sure.
I appreciate you. I love this conversation.
Yeah.
As I said, I look forward to extending it.
Yeah.
Like I would like us to be able to come together and just, you know, document the journey, you know, through the conversation that we have, you know.
Real quick, I want to give a shout out. My boy Curtis Appleton right here. You know what I mean? If you see the jersey, you feel me? Shout out Curtis Appleton, you know, Central Missouri. This jersey, so he played at the University of Colorado. One of my youngins, man, he had dealt with some adversity, and the reason why I'm giving him a shout out is because he started out at Washburn, and there was just a lot going on. You know, a lot of people doubted him, and he had to leave. He didn't know what he was going to do, but he walked by faith, and he hit me up one day, and he was like, "Hey, bro, I want to go to CU." So I was like, okay. It was an impossible task, but we made it happen. So we went to CU, balled out there, ended up transferring here, man, but became the face of the school and all that. And, you know, I'm repping his jersey today, you know, and just doing great things. But I think my message through all that would be like, failure's okay, just don't quit. You're gonna fail, but you keep going. You only lose when you quit. So don't quit, just keep going. And I appreciate being here. My question to you would be, you do a lot of great things, you know. What helps you get in that mode and stay in that mode? Whether it be when you in the booth, when you writing, when you performing, showing up for community, just all the space. What helps you get in that mode?
I mean, the thing is that, like for me, I mean, I personally feel like I'm always in the mode. I think the problem that I really suffer from is the things that take me out of it. Like I'm always in it. Like I always want to create. I always want to write. I always want to be somewhere recording. I always want to be somewhere having conversation on camera, off camera. You know, I like to be in podiums in front of rooms. Like it doesn't, but it's more, for me, it's more about like the things that take me out of it. And it's not a lot of things, but like, you know, take music recently. You know, I had a few people ask me, Ryan, what's going on? You ain't dropping no music? What's up with you? And, you know, the truth is that, you know, many of the music spaces have made me feel away. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's strange, you know, as a person who, like, you know, like I have so much music, bro. Like I have so much everything, but it's the, it be the moments, it be the lack of authenticity, it be the fact that, you know, the negativity attached to certain things, you know, like we talked about, spreads further than the love or the joy, or you know, just running across people who don't care about it the same. You know, so for me, it's the it's like that. It's always turned on.
Yeah.
My issue is the things that, you know, affect me that want to turn it off.
For sure.
So I constantly am just trying to make sure that, like, my own passion isn't bothered by, like, the outside world. You know, that's my biggest issue. That's what I would say. Other than that, like I said, it's always on, and so I guess just the perpetuating of it is just, I think it's phony to be like, I do this for hip hop. I don't think that's real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the truth is I started doing this for myself first.
Yeah.
Because I found a thing in myself that was like, I like to do this. I like to talk. I like to, you know, I like to talk. I like to rap. It's the same energy for me. But I need to express myself. That's really what it is. Like, I need to just get things that are in me out of me, and my hope is that somebody will care.
Yeah.
And so I think, you know, it's always on, but I think at the core of it is just hoping somebody will care. You know?
Yeah.
I think that's what it is for me, just at the core. Hoping somebody will care, man.
Wow. Okay.
You know, because mind you, I'll leave it at this. Like, think of all of the me and B, we were having a conversation not that long ago, and you'll know exactly where I'm going. Not the situation itself, but just the idea itself.
Yep.
But I was somewhere not that long ago, and I was with a woman whose son, she had lost her son, and so there was a number of people sitting around, and so she handed everybody the program from her son's funeral. She was like, read it. She was like, you don't have to read it if you want. She was like, but I just want you to look. She was like, you see these 3 pages, this fold out pamphlet? She was like, it was so hard for me to fill this in with my son's life. She was like, it was so hard. And she was like, and then on top of that, you know, after you do it and everybody comes to the funeral and they get it, you know, it's the, you know, everybody's gone now, who left their program? Like, you didn't care enough about my son's life to want to keep it, but then at the same time, it's like your life has been reduced to this. So to me, it's like when it's all said and done, like, I'm hoping somebody cares about my offerings that I left behind. You know what I'm saying? So.
That's deep. Yeah, I can relate to that. You definitely battle with that too. But I think for me, get all the ideas out, keep creating, you know.
For sure.
And even this production that y'all have, you know, curated and allowed, you know, individuals like myself to be a part of, like, this is gonna live on. But one thing I've learned is that you just gotta do it, and people aren't gonna, even if you do impact them, they're not gonna tell you. I'll share this story. I'll share this story, bro. Oh man, I'll never forget. I'm gonna try to make sense of this. I'll never forget though, man. I was out, and it was all these ladies, man. It was all these ladies, bro. This was, I had to be, it was like 18, bro. And it was all these ladies, bro. And like, I'm just being me or whatever, but like, none of them ever showed me any love, right? None of them ever showed me any love. They show all these other, they never show me no love. So I'm like, man, what's wrong with me? Da 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 da, right? So like from that time, let's fast forward like a couple months. I'm talking to one of the homegirls, and then she's like, yeah, you know all of them liked you, right? I'm like, what? She was like, they liked you. I'm like, why ain't they talk? You know, ain't nobody talk to me, da da da. They like, I don't know, they just didn't. They just was nervous, you know what I mean? And I say all that to say, like, I'm thinking something's wrong with me. The whole time they like me, but nobody came and said anything. And just thinking about that and just other, you know, this was the lady, so I'm like, dang. But like even in other situations, like somebody will say like even, you know, somebody will come and they'll say like, hey, that inspired me. And it's like, I wish you would have told me then, you know what I mean? I thought something was, you know, like, hey, you said that. And you know, spaces we work in, people are notorious for that. It's like, yeah, like last year, you know, you remember when you did that? That inspired me to do this.
Like,
and I'm like,
shit, you cared about
yeah, why didn't you tell? I was going through it, you know what I mean? So I say all that to say like a lot of like the impact, even back to Dr. Conley, like, because people come up and they tell her and she's like, dang, and this has been 20 so years. And she just now getting them flowers, you know what I mean? Because you don't know, because they're not going to tell you. Either because they don't want to tell you, they jealous, or you know what I mean? It's a bunch of factors, but it's like, that's when I was like, man, forget the external validation. Like we want that. We want people to appreciate our work, but at the same time, I'm appreciated, and I'm gonna go where I'm valued. And I also know everybody's not going.
Everybody's not gonna dig it.
Everybody's not gonna dig it, but trust, they know. And that's just where I'm at. That's why every time a song drop or something, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna tell you, hey, I appreciate this. Thank you.
I appreciate you for it.
You know what I mean?
The thing is, I go through that and like, it'd be so crazy. Like, this is my word, man. Like, just because, like how real that is. Like being in a moment, and like the perspective, like the perception that you may have, like you know, you're in there, you know, for whatever reason, you know, I rap, you know, it's one of the things I do. So you know, I go into space. And you know, everybody will see me, you know, it's all love, blah, 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 such and such and such. You know, I get on a mic and it be up.
Yeah.
Or whatever, but later it's like the way like artists will like act. Like it's like, yo, I know he is a rapper, like he represents a thing that I don't represent it here. And even though I fuck with him, I refuse to let him know that, like, I think his shit is dope. Yeah. Even though every time you'll see me, like, you want to be in the moment, you want to be right there. I learned that you know the words to my shit and all that, but you won't reciprocate that and be like, yo, that thing that you do, I appreciate it.
But that's why, but that's why we got to know we dope, because it's a scarcity mindset. Because I think if I give you your praise, then I'm taking away from me. You know what I mean? And we've all been there, but it's the realest thing. Why are they gonna give you? There's a perception that I'm gonna be the first to put on, let's say Colorado. I'm gonna be the first person to put on Colorado. It's like people don't understand. Like Colorado's already been on. You know what I mean? And there's people that have, you know, that's why history is the most important thing. But also, like, people aren't gonna give people their flowers just because they scared, you know what I mean? And we gotta have an abundance mindset to not even worry about that. I'm gonna give you your flowers, but I'm gonna still be dope. You know what I mean? Because, like, if you look at it, like, they building gas stations around Colorado next to each other, bro. A bunch of different gas stations. It's all gas. Right? You got a 7-Eleven here, such and such here, bro. They're building them literally right next to each other. That could show you the abundance. You know, people gonna go where they want to go to get their gas.
Yeah, it's just not gonna affect you.
You feel me? You feel me? They don't be like, hey, don't go over there. In fact, you gonna come here, I don't care. I'm not changing my price either. I don't care if they 5 cents, you know? And a lot of us don't have that mindset, because it's like that all over. People are territorial. People, they know you dope, which even scares them even more. You know what I mean? And that's just, it sucks, but like I said, I said this the other day in one of my reels, I'm like, you ain't even met everybody who's gonna love you yet. So don't limit yourself to here in this city. Like, I didn't come on here for the city. This is for the world. You know what I mean? This is for the world. Somebody out there is gonna need you. Like I said, I didn't even, when we wrote the books and stuff, like I didn't put Out the Cage or Misinformed out. Like it was for this, but it was for the world. Kid in Washington, kid in North Dakota, kid, you know what I mean? Older, like you haven't met everybody who's gonna love you. You know?
I appreciate you, Mo.
I appreciate you.
Where Breaking Out the Cage, Misinformed, please cop this brother's books. Where can they get them at?
So yeah, you got Out the Cage. That's at, you can get that on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, same with Misinformed. It's Out the Cage, Letting Go of What Limits You. And then Misinformed is, again, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, you can get that. The 2 great books, check them out. Definitely supplemental, Out the Cage, like self-help. I think you'll enjoy that. Misinformed is a novel, but both great reads, and yeah, it's just for all of us.
What's the next thing that we should be looking for from Mo?
I got another book I gotta put out. I got another book I'm gonna put out. So that's the one I asked about the forward.
I got
Yeah.
No doubt. Yeah.
So I want you to do that forward. But that, and also, I mean, in doing a lot of things, also, I'm really just chilling. Like we're creating a lot, we're doing a lot, but we also got to remember, like, to just chill and sit with ourselves, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of times we want to just put things out and stuff like that, but you just got to chill and sit with yourself and do things at your pace, you know what I mean? And I talked about this the other day, too. I'm like, everybody is just out here guessing, you know? Everybody's out here guessing, like, nobody has the blueprint. So don't be afraid to be the first one to do something, you know? You don't need external validation. Yeah, it feels good. We all human, whatever, but believe in you. And again, the world is so big. Like, you're going to find your tribe. You're going to find your people. The people in your parameter, that you grew up around or that you live around, bro, they're not going to value you. They're not going to appreciate you. They know your value, but they're not going to appreciate you. You see it in stories like Cinderella, where they're like, oh, she the truth, but we're going to keep you hidden. You know what I mean? We ain't going to let the world know your greatness. Keep letting your light shine. The right people is going to find you. You know what I mean? And yeah, that's just really what it is for me. And yeah, we just gonna keep creating and keep enjoying life. Like, this is a blessing. You know, people think we finna get to this one place and everything's gonna be good. Like, you create it every day. You gotta understand the power of now. You know, people like, oh, once I get this, I'll be fine. That's another thing. I'll leave y'all with this. This is a jewel, because this is what I operate my life on and why I just be chilling. Hedonic adaptation. Look it up. Hedonic adaptation. All right? That'll help you out. All that is like, it just talks about balance and just being baseline. Like, everything is going to always return to baseline, you know? So keep it cool. So, like, we get a new car. Oh, life is going to change. Cool. And, like, after a week of having it, we like, oh, what's next? So it's like, that concept just teaches you to just be grateful for what you have while you keep creating, but nothing is gonna come and like change your life. It starts with you. Did y'all feel me? You know, when you get a new car, you happy, and then it's like, all right.
It wears off.
Yeah, it wears off. Like, I remember back then our phones, we didn't have nearly as much like gigabytes of data as we have now. And we filling up our phones fast now, you know what I mean? We always gonna like adjust, you know, but just shit, man, I'll just leave it with, yeah, just live your life, do your best, don't let other people dictate, you know, dictate outcomes for you, or, you know, dictate where you headed. Just keep creating and understand that it's only one you, and that's your power.
Do you want people to find you on social media?
Yeah, y'all could check me out. So I'm on social media, Instagram, Mode, MODE, FORD. And then I wouldn't be on TikTok or nothing like that. But yeah, that's it. Check me out on IG. Make sure y'all follow this platform as well. You probably already are if you're watching this, but if you're not, follow the platform. Subscribe. And yeah, just check out my bros. They out here creating, doing great things. And
Thank you, brother.
yeah,
I appreciate you.
right on.
This is Mode again. Please keep up with what he got going on in the world. Please tap into his books. Please tap into his brain. Please tap into his experiences.
For sure.
This is Authentic in Words. I'm your brother Ryan the Deuce, and you better be watching these motherfucking episodes.
We out.